Konnichiwa, everybody. Welcome back. We've got some pickups again. I'm struggling to get round to these. I just not a minute to live at the moment. Still working, you know, every spare hour in the garage. I've moved on to another project now. Still not played a game in weeks, if not months now. I've been so busy. But anyway, I'm slowly working through, because I'm basically not picking anything up at the moment. All the spare funds are going into the garage. So, you know, but I've got, like I say, I'm so far behind with pickups. Some of these are from months ago. However, I've got to say, a lot of this stuff is really good stuff. And this episode's got like the second half of the Gold Hoard, courtesy of Craig, that I've showed in the previous, you know, I showed the first lot in the previous pickups. So this is like the second part of it. So, won't mess about. We've got a few to get through. I'll put footage up if I can. I'm not going to have time to do it for all of them, but I have done it for some. First one I got, Xbox 360. I know, but they're not all rubbish, honestly. Stu, in particular, they're not all crap. Yeah, Samurai Showdown 10, is it? Yeah. Never had this back in the day. Kind of a 3D take on Samurai Showdown. I wasn't expecting a great deal, if I'm honest. But I think it's really not bad at all, this. This is the American version, as you can see. From memory, I think I bought this because the box was nicer. I think the PAL one, if I remember rightly, is just a very white style artwork on the box. But the graphics are really nice on this, and it plays quite decent. I was really quite surprised. I was expecting it to be a bit naff, and it wasn't. I didn't think. So that was a pleasant surprise. Then a similar generation. There's a vast array of stuff here. I mean, it's all retro, obviously. I rarely buy new stuff. This is quite new for me. We've got a PS3 game. We've got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is the Japanese version, because it's dirt cheap Japanese. I've got to be honest, I played this on the Dreamcast some time ago, and I wasn't very keen. It's a bit crazy. And I just saw this cheap, and I thought, well, I'm going to try it again. I actually like this one quite a lot more. I don't know if it's just, you know, a different day, I felt better about it, but or whether the game itself is actually better, I don't know. I haven't gone back to try the Dreamcast one again. But yeah, it's the Capcom one-on-one fighter, but you've got kind of weird abilities you can call on. This is all in Japanese, obviously, this version. Lovely graphics. And I really quite enjoyed it this time. It was a lot of money, PAL, this, but I think it's come down quite a lot since that, because you can get it on the PS4, can't you? However, I think I paid a £5 or something for this. Really not a bad game, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So that was a pleasant surprise. Now this next one, this was part of the Gold Hoard of Craig. I've just put it here because it's the same time period as them previous two. I've not got round to trying this yet, and it's a Japanese 360 game, vertical shooter, Ginga Force. Not the cheapest. I mean, there ain't many cheap shooters on the 360, to be fair, but this is, you know, a middle of the road price one, I'd say. You can get it on a double pack with Escartos, but I'd already got Escartos. I think it's Escartos, that it's the double pack with it. I'd already got the other one anyway, so I wanted the single release version. So, happy to snap this one up, but like I say, I've not tried it yet. I will get around to it. Yeah, it is the sort of special edition with the extra DVD. Also got something. What else have we got? Ah, soundtrack CD running list. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that. I haven't turned the modded 360 on in months. But yeah, I was chuffed to add that one to the list. There's only a couple of 360 shooters I'm still left to get now, all that I want now, really. Right, next up, I wasn't looking for these, I just stumbled across them one day, and I thought, I'd never seen them before, so I thought, they're quite interesting. And like I said, I'd not seen them before, so I didn't really have a clue about, value or anything, but they were listed fairly cheaply. So I just took a punt, really. And these are like game soundtrack CDs, which is not something I generally collect. That said, I have sort of bought a few in the last, 12 months or so. So I suppose it's a collection that is growing slightly compared with, I used to have none. So anyway, I've picked up the Ridge Racer soundtrack CDs. We've got the first one. These are Japanese origin, I believe. Yeah, it's Japanese writing on the small print anyway. But yeah, so we've got the Ridge Racer soundtrack. And we've got the Aobi spine card as well. I have listened to these once through. We've got Ridge Racer 2, which is kind of nice. And I quite like the sort of game footage artwork on that one. The back's a bit plain. No Aobi in that one. And then finally, we've got Rave Racer, which obviously, unfortunately, never come out on the PlayStation. Quite a boring box, really. But I thought it was nice to have the set of Ridge Racer 1, 2 and Rave Racer. Like I said, I'd not seen them before, and I thought, got to be worth a punt. Big fan of Ridge Racer, and I thought, well, you got to try it, didn't you? And I'm pleased I did, really, to be honest. Right, back to the games. 2 Famicom games. Coincidentally, they're both yellow carts. Wasn't planned. I just picked these. I'm running through the list of what I've picked up, and these two happen to be next to each other. First one we got is Tiger Heli. This is a vertical shooter. I mean, it's an early game, I think, 1988. It's quite basic. Obviously, it was the forerunner to then later versions, which I still want to get on the Famicom. QQ Tiger, or what's it called in America? Twin Cobra, isn't it? So yeah, I was pleased to get this. It's not amazing. It is quite basic, and it is quite brutal in how little reaction time you've got between the tanks firing the shots at you. You ain't got time to get out of the way, but it's quite good. It's just, it needs a bit of patience. Then the second one we've got, I wasn't looking for this. I just happened to be browsing Famicom games on eBay one day. This popped up, was ending in a few hours, so I thought, I've not seen that one before. I mean, I've heard of the game, but I'd just not seen the Famicom version before when I'd been looking at stuff. Watched it, put a bid in, nobody else bid, I won it. And we've got Solomon's Key, this is. Tecmo game, isn't it? Yeah. Which is basically, a single screen arcade puzzle platformer, if you like. Where you've got to get the key to the exit, negotiate the sort of maze platform play area, avoid the baddies or kill them, get the key, get to the exit, next screen. Really, really good. I'm sure I used to have this on the Specky, to be honest. I remember the box. It was like I think it was a US Gold game, and it was like a brownie cover with a blue stripe across the bottom, and there were two, I'm sure there were two characters like facing off at each other or something. But anyway, I've not played it since. Really like this, really quite good, and I've looked at it since, and it seemed quite rare. I think at the time I bought it, it was the only one on UK eBay, so and I got it cheap. It was like a fiver, or it might have been less than a fiver. So I think I possibly lucked out on that one, and it's, like I say, it's a good game. Solomon's Key. Right, next up we've got the mighty PC Engine. This is another one off Craig, and we've got Star Parodia, vertical shooter again, Hudson Soft game. This is kind of a parody of the Star Soldier series, much like Parodius is a parody of the Gradius series. Really cutesy, like I say, vertical shooter. Really like this. Real fun game. You get choice of characters. I love how you can pick up like your ship to be like a flying PC Engine to sort of play the game with this character here. Real quality. I really like this game. Chuffed to have added that to the collection. Looking forward to giving it a bit more play, really. Like I say, I've had so little time. I think I did record a bit of footage for that one, so hopefully you'll be seeing that. But yeah, you can choose like a PC Engine, you can choose Bomberman, I think, and there's another one. Real fun game, real bright colours, you know, kind of like Fantasy Zone, really. Really good. Right, next we've got a PS2 game, and this is one I'd eyed up some time ago. I saw it in one of these clips, I think, like fighting games on the PS2 or something like that, I think. I could have seen somebody pick it up, I don't know, anyway. It was in the back of my mind to keep my eye out for it, and I've never seen it cheap. Or what I consider cheap for, you know, PS2 games. I tend to think you shouldn't be paying much for them. And I know there are some valuable ones, but I think in the end I did get this cheap because there was no manual, and it's like the budget re-release, if you like. But anyway, it's the Fist of the North Star, Hakuto no Ken, sort of one-on-one fighter, Sega game. Looks incredible, this, which is why I wanted to buy it, aside from obviously liking one-on-one fighters. As kind of budget releases go, I don't think the box is too bad on that one. However, I would prefer to upgrade to the full release should the opportunity arise. I have took some footage, I think. Like I say, it looks absolutely stunning. When I first tried it, I didn't think it played as well as it looked. But then when I recorded the footage for that, I found it to be quite a bit better. Strangely, because I was only playing it one-handed. So maybe that's the key to it. Don't use two hands, just one hand will do. But yeah, it looks absolutely sensational. And it, you know, we're talking, I don't know when this came out. No, I don't know. It's got to be 20 years old anyway. I mean, it looks brilliant. It still looks amazing today. That's an awesome game, I would say. Right, we're on to serious retro gold now. This first one, Mega Drive I should say. This first one, I'd foolishly sold this, and I kind of regretted it. You know, I mean, I'm constantly thinning out stuff I don't use to pay for stuff I'm buying for these, you know, for what I want to buy now. And the vast majority of these pickups are funded by me selling stuff I don't want to play anymore. And unfortunately, I decided at some point this was surplus, and I sold it to fund other stuff. Regretted it. I've managed to buy one back. I ended up piecing this together. I think I bought the cart first, and then I got I think I then upgraded to a boxed one, and then I bought a cart and a manual, and I pieced it all together to, you know, make a bit of a Bertie Bassett of all the best parts, and I've now got a complete one back. Anyway, we've got Rambo 3. Lovely box on this one, I think, and this is a good game, I think, on the Mega Drive. Kind of like Commando, I suppose, but also with some sort of head-on type sections, kind of like Operation Wolf, I suppose. But yeah, it's a really nice box, the Japanese one, as usual. And I've ended up getting one in quite nice condition, piecing it together. I mean, the PAL box is reasonable, but look at that one. Absolute stunner. Rambo 3. Chuffed to have that one back. I'm not selling that one again. Right, the rest of these were all off Craig. Part of the Golden Haul from probably, God, I don't know, it could be 2 or 3 months ago now. Anyway, first up, I've just kind of added this later on, I think. Not a stellar game by any stretch of the imagination, and we've got Darwin 4081. Vertical shooter. I think this one was missing. Yeah, this one's missing the manual, unfortunately. But like I say, it's a fairly cheap game, and it's nothing groundbreaking. But as you'll see from the footage, it's reasonable. I don't think it's a bad little shooter. Your ship kind of upgrades and keeps changing form, and sometimes it's a really big ship and other times it's a smaller ship. But it plays really well. I honestly don't think it's too bad for the like I say, it's cheap. I'm sure it's like a 20-30 quid game or something like that, which is cheap for a shooter on the Jap Mega Drive. But really not too bad at all. Right, next up. Now I can play this on other formats, but because I've been sort of chasing Mega Drive shooting games, Craig had got this for sale and it seemed rude not to buy it, really. So we've bought Darius 2, or Segoya, if you're that way inclined. It's not the best box in the world. I mean, it's reasonable, but I think there are better. But I mean, it's not a bad box. The back's kind of plain, I suppose, really. These are all complete now. I'm not going to keep opening them all up, but it is complete. I don't think you can go wrong with the Darius games, really. They're all pretty good, the ones I've played anyway. The old Fish Tank Simulator. So chuffed to add that one to the Mega Drive shooter collection, which has come on quite nicely now, really. Right, next up. Now we're talking some seriously sexy boxes now. So, you know, you've been warned. Explicit nature of products coming up. First up, we've got Shadow Dancer, and what a box this is. Somebody else picked this up recently. I forget who it was. I don't know, it might have been Eddie, but somebody's picked it up. But it's an absolute stunner, this box. I've never actually played that much of this game. I played it briefly back in the day, and because you know, I had like Revenge of Shinobi, and at some later point I played Shadow Dancer, and I don't know, I never went back to it. I don't know. I don't think I never owned it. I think I played it somewhere. But anyway, not the cheapest on the Jap Mega Drive, or the PAL. I don't think. I think the PAL's about 40 quid in it. But it tends to be a bit more for the Japanese one, probably due to that stunning box. And that's Shadow Dancer. So I then had, obviously, Shadow Dancer and Revenge of Shinobi, or Super Shinobi as it's called in Japan. That one. So I was missing one then, wasn't I? So had to have it. So we got Super Shinobi 2, and again, another stunning box, I've got to say. This is sensational. I think this is better than Shadow Dancer, to be honest. That's got to be one of the best Mega Drive box artworks going. Just look at the artistry and that, the drawing, and how you can sort of look, and you can feel the depth in the picture. What an absolute stunner. Again, I never owned this back in the day. I think I played it, but I don't remember it. So this is going to be a new experience for me. I've never really played this, and I haven't got round to playing this yet, unfortunately. And it's in lovely condition as well. So again, this is not a cheap game, unfortunately, PAL or Japanese. So I'm chuffed to complete the set really, and now I've got all 3 Shinobi games on the Mega Drive. Now this last Mega Drive game, you might think is not a big hitter because it's dirt cheap, PAL. But for whatever reason, I'm assuming probably rarity, the Japanese version is really quite mad money. So when Craig had it, obviously he sorted me out, and thank you very much, Craig. I really wanted to add it because I do think it's a cracking game, and we've bought this one. Anybody? Any clues? Bit of a strange box. Anyway, this is the Japanese version of Steel Empire, or Empire of Steel. It's kind of, I don't know, it's a weird box. I don't dislike it. There is some damage on the artwork sleeve for the box, unfortunately. We've got a bit of a tear there, as you can see, and there's a bit of damage on the artwork there. But like I say, for a nice one of these, it's crazy money. I know Eddie picked up a... yeah, I don't know if he showed it yet. I won't say anything, sorry. Anyway, Empire of Steel. Like I say, it's dirt cheap, PAL. It's probably a £10 to £20 game, PAL. It's certainly in £10 to £20 on Japanese. The rest of it's in nice condition. But yeah, if you've not played this, honestly, and you like shooters, seriously, I'd get hold of the PAL version because it's so cheap. You get a choice of ships, like a smaller, faster, more nimble ship, and then a larger, slower, more powerful ship, like a blimp. I really like it. I like how it plays, I like how it looks, I like the music. Really cracking game, Steel Empire. So one I didn't think, to be honest, I would buy Japanese. I did myself buy the PAL one, but then obviously chuffed to upgrade to that one. Right then, last up today, and this is the last of the games from the bundle with Craig, aside from a couple which somebody's had as presents for me for Christmas, so I'll get them, in a couple of months. This is another shooter, but we're on the Super Famicom now, and I'd never experienced this back in the day, and I'd only played this recently when I started getting into shooters, and I was just looking on the EverDrive at the shooters that you could get on the SNES, really. And I just played this and I thought, wow, this is good. And then I subsequently bought a repro of it because the physical version is not a cheap game. But then of course, Craig, awesome chap that he is, did me a great deal, and I'm delighted to add Super Dimension Force Macross into the collection. I think up until I'd stopped spending money, to divert my attention to the garage project, Super Famicom was what I was sort of concentrating on at the moment, trying to sort of add to my fairly small collection, really, because the majority of my collection for the SNES is American. So absolutely chuffed to have this. I mean, it only came out Japanese, but it's a stunning horizontal scrolling shooter, where you can transform your ship into different forms, and you can power up individually those 3 different forms of the ship. So in effect you can get sort of 9 different power-ups from your ship, because you can transform it into 3 different things, and each one of those 3 can have 3 different sort of powered up versions of that. What a great game. I would say of all the shooters I've played on the Super Famicom, I think this is the best. Absolutely brilliant. Aleste is brilliant, but personally speaking, I think this is probably the best. For me, at least, one of the ones, I'm not saying I've played them all, but of the ones I've played, I think this is the best shooter on the Super Famicom, and I'm absolutely chuffed to have it. Must be honest, one I thought I wouldn't ever own, aside from the Repro I'd bought. But there we go. Quick run through some gold and some perhaps not quite such gold, but let me know what you think, and hopefully see you soon. Sayonara.